Hi guys, my name's Athnei and this is my Minecraft survival series Pixels and Petals. I absolutely love axolotls and I recently collected the last of the 4 axolotls you can find in the wild. So today I'm going to take you along with me as I try to get this super duper rare blue axolotl. You can only get the blue variant by breeding 2 axolotls and the chance to have the baby come out as blue is 1 in 1200. So I'm going to start off by making some pens for my axolotls. I'll make 4 tanks, one for pink, white, brown and yellow. I think it'll be easier to notice the blue colour with the plain block, so I'm just going to use sandstone. Though these pens are just temporary, and I'll make some cute ponds and aquariums for my cute little swimming Martians in the future. There, I've got 1 pen done, so I'm just going to copy that layer and build 3 more for all 4 of the axolotls. Now I'm adding in the water to each tank. And I'm going to start off by breeding our axolotls for the first time. First, these cute little yellow ones. The pink ones, these ones are my favourite. Give the white axolotl some snacks too. And then our brown axolotls as well. So I want to keep a record of how many times I've bred animals, and at this point of the game I've bred animals 211 times, which would have mostly been just like cows and chickens. We will check back in later to see how big that number gets. To breed axolotls, you need to feed them a bucket of tropical fish, and the only place I knew with tropical waters is quite a distance away. I have to travel through the nether to get there. Luckily, I have a handful of shulkers to carry all the fish, and my iron farm is helping out to make all these buckets. I often come to this reef to collect coral as well, so I'm going to grab a bunch of that while I'm here to gather the fish. There's an ally that lives out this way and stays by the nether portal, and whenever I come out to gather coral or fish, she follows me around the water and sings to me. Did you know Minecraft has over 3,000 variants of tropical fish? There are 22 different varieties of fish, but they can naturally spawn with completely random patterns and colours. So while I'm out here collecting hundreds and thousands of buckets of fish, I'm trying to keep the really cool looking randomly generated fish I find. I've found some really pretty ones, so I'd like to show them off in an aquarium build sometime. Trying to get the super rare blue axolotl became a bit of a side project for me, as it took a lot of time to constantly travel back and forth through the nether to collect hundreds of buckets of fish, to come back and breed the axolotls only to run out of fish very quickly. It became extremely repetitive. Plus there's a little bit of a cooldown on when you can feed them, so I would work on other things and then come back to this over and over and over and over and over and over. I ended up making a spot for some storage as my axolotl population started getting a little bit crazy. So I wanted to make a color coordinated mini storage nearby so I can take some of the axolotls out of these ponds. It's just getting way too crowded in there. I would love to make ponds and aquariums in the future, so I'll definitely make some cute homes for these axolotls. But even then I'll have way too many, so I was thinking that it might be fun to take a lot of them to an ocean monument so they can help me fight off the guardians. They're actually really fierce little fighters and they can heal themselves and the player. And with this army I think would be unbeatable. Back to get more fish for the hungry axolotl army. I love the underwater ambience in Minecraft. I could totally listen to this as ASMR for sleep. I absolutely love axolotls and I'd really like to have them as pets one day. I've done a bit of research and they do seem to be a little bit high maintenance, so I definitely want to do a lot of preparation and learn about their care before I commit to that. But they're just such interesting and sweet little creatures. Don't they look a bit like a little alien? They look like they'd be like a mermaid's pet or something. I'm just continuing to travel to collect lots and lots of fish, heading back home to feed all the axolotls, and keeping my eyes peeled for any blue babies that pop out. I've got blue axolotls I think once before on an old multiplayer server, and I don't remember it being this grueling. Their little chirps and squeaks are so cute. Back for a run through the nether for more fish. At this point I'm finding it really bothersome to run through the nether over and over to go to the coral reef for fish. And although I did get an elytra a while back, I haven't used it much as I didn't have the fireworks. So I think it's time to make a creeper farm. Maybe once I have lots of fireworks I can just fly about to find close to tropical waters. To make this creeper farm I'll be following along with the tutorial. The video I'm using is this one by Gorilla, so I'll link that down in the description. So I went looking for a nearby place over the ocean where I can build the farm. I'd like to hide it somehow later on, maybe in a lighthouse or something. Now I've found where I want to build it, I'm going to make a little platform above the water to start the first layer. This build allows you to stack as many levels as you want. Since it's just me on the server, I think I'll just go for 2 or 3 for now, and if I need to I can always expand it later on. I found this tutorial really easy to follow. I'm not very good with redstone, so tutorials like this are amazing. I'm just following along with the video. I'm not going to be too fussed on making it look pretty or even using the same block palette all the way through, as I'm planning to cover up the creeper farm in the future. Practical over pretty for this. I have a huge list of automatic farms I want to add to this world to make life a bit easier. I've not made very many outside of this playthrough, and even just having the iron farm alone is so useful. This farm requires 2 cats per level to scare the creepers into the right position, so I'm going to bring 6 kitties along to our platform. I can't help but feel a little bit bad for leaving these guys here. Now time to work on the tunnel. The creepers will run into the hole, which will drop them out here. The water will push them onto some magma blocks where they will drop the gunpowder in the hoppers below. Then I'm going to add on a second and third layer to the build. I'm just using whatever blocks I had available, so it looks a little bit scruffy, but it'll work just fine. I'll just get these cats into their spots. And then add slabs on the roof so nothing spawns up here. And that's the farm done. I'm just going to clean up the platform and then spawn proof the top of the tunnel. After collecting some more materials I needed, I'm going to add an AFK area above the farm and give it a test. I went AFK for about 45 minutes. I'm really happy with the results. I always get worried when I make something like this that it won't work. Now I can make some fireworks. I prefer the 3 charge ones so you can fly longer without having to carry quite so many. I'm going to have a fly about to try and find a coral reef so I don't have to make the run through the nether over and over. I flew for a while and found a tropical reef about 1,000 blocks away, so that's a lot more manageable. Now time to collect a lot more fish. And back home with our haul. constantly standing over the water to see if any blue axolotls have appeared. Every now and then I accidentally place the fish on the floor so it releases it and then the axolotls turn into little piranhas. At one point I thought I could release some of these axolotls into the nearby waters, and after putting 2 in the river I noticed a lot of floating salmon. And I thought that might cause some issues with lag or something, so I scooped them back into their buckets. I've got these little cuties like to nibble on any nearby fish, so you have to be careful who you put in their habitat. Back and forth to get more fish for the army. Also, something exciting, I just hit 100 subscribers, which is one of my milestones, and I'm really happy, so thank you guys. I also managed to get my first trident while collecting some fish. Each time I go out to gather fish, I come back with 5 to 7 shulkers worth of tropical fish buckets. And it's shocking how fast these little monsters eat through it all. Currently at 866 animals bred. It says that 1 in every 1,200 axolotls bred will have a blue one, so I should be a little over halfway there if that's the case. As I've said in previous videos, I'd really like to collect every animal in the game, including different variants of them like dogs, cats, axolotls and such. I think the blue axolotl is bound to be one of the most difficult to obtain, although I am definitely dreading the brown panda. I'm pretty sure they're a little bit less rare to come by than axolotls, and it is nice that you only need bamboo to breed them instead of, say, 2 buckets of tropical fish. But my concern is the space required to selectively breed all these pandas to try and get the super rare brown one, and then what do you do with all of the pandas afterwards? You can't just scoop them back in a bucket. Also, there's an upcoming update where they've announced some new variants of cows and pigs, which is really exciting. I did hope we might get even more varieties in different coloured versions of the base cow, like maybe black and white or a warthog version of a pig, but I'm really excited nonetheless. I really hope we get some different coloured chickens soon as well. The storage for all these extra axolotls is getting a little out of hand, so I'm going to expand that. An extra chest for each colour, and then also just a couple of big chests for random coloured axolotls to go in for now. I was travelling out this way for fish so often that I ended up setting up a little outpost. I knew getting this blue axolotl was going to be tricky, but honestly I underestimated my luck with this. The amount of tropical fish I've collected for the cause, oh my goodness. While feeding the brown axolotls, I noticed a spot of blue zip by. I was so excited. I started trying to scoop it up, but quickly realized I was going to have to empty out a bunch of these other axolotls before I could freely scoop up the blue baby. There was so many axolotls in here, I was getting pushed around like I was in a whirlpool. After a lot of struggle, I finally managed to scoop up the baby blue axolotl. I went over to make sure I'd collected him. And then I got him lost in my chaotic inventory. It'd be really nice if these buckets of axolotls would show the colour rather than them all being pink. And after all of that, I'm at 1,628 animals bred. Wow. I started this episode at about 200 and now we're at 1,600. I feel like that was pretty unlucky. If it's supposed to be one in every 1,200 and I got mine in about 1,400, dang. Also, shortly after getting my blue axolotl, I found out you can actually make tropical fish farms. I had no idea you could do that. Although I suppose you still would have to build the farm in tropical water, so it would have been a lot of travel either way. Well, that was quite the adventure. I now have an army of axolotl in all 5 colours, including the mega rare blue axolotl. But I want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!